Time traveler. Time traveler warns us of the Bitcoin citadel. So, we talk about crazy stuff here in the lab. It's not always doom and gloom. Sometimes it's, a little futuristic. This one happens to be one that we covered on SNL 3 years ago, I think. 2 years ago. You have to go back and check the records. Wumble, clip it. But the Citadel story is on Reddit. Keyan, they beat us. But it's okay. We're taking it back. So this was made in 2013. This guy made this post talking about the year 2025. He said, I'm sending this message from the year 2025. I'm not going to read the whole thing. He said, things are looking bleak here. Blocks are empty. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, it gets interesting though. He goes, you don't believe me, but please move on. He goes, on average, every year so far, the value of Bitcoin has increased. And he starts talking about this. So that's not the part we're here for. He goes, as you know, a few 100,000 were permanently lost. 7 billion people on average. Where is it at? He goes, what is a citadel, you might wonder? Well, at the time Bitcoin became worth $1,000, services began to emerge for the Bitcoin rich to protect themselves as well as their wealth. This is where the word citadel came from, stackers. Not the word itself, but this is where the Bitcoin citadel word came from this post. The other thing he says, most such citadels are born out of the fortification used to protect places where Bitcoin mining machines are located. He talks about this made-up company called ASIC Miner. This could actually just be like a, what do they call that? A variant time travel or a variant?
Yeah, a branch.
A branch, just like the Marvel universe. This could just be a branch. He talks about this thing called rogue states, where people are entering rogue states like Luxembourg, Monaco, Liechtenstein. We're kind of already seeing those happen now. There's places like El Salvador. He said he goes, where people are being followed by drones to ensure that governments know who is hiding wealth. No such option was available to stop people from hiding their money in Bitcoin. He goes, governments tried to stay relevant in my society by buying Bitcoin, which just made the problem worse. This is what gets kind of creepy here, Keyan. He goes, by increasing the value of Bitcoin. So that's creepy. He got that right on the button. Because governments did so in secret, of course. But my generation Snowdens are in fact greedy government employees who transfer Bitcoin to their own private account and escape to anarchic places where no questions are asked as long as you can cough up some money. So he's saying that basically the way I read this as a pleb is there is no strategic Bitcoin reserve because governments are in secret buying it for themselves, or people in government are buying it for themselves. He goes, economic growth today is about 2% per year.
-2.
-2. Because if you own more than 1.01 Bitcoin, chances are you don't do anything with your money. That's not true. Because what happened to the Winklevoss twins? Winklevoss twins were among the first to die. Oh, no. So we're definitely in a different branch timeline. He goes, most people who own any significant amount of Bitcoin no longer speak to their families and lost their friends. Where is it at? The other part. Yeah, and then it gets pretty dark here. He goes, where is it at? Governments gave their own citizens cell phones for free, tied their government ID, and those governments sought to integrate Bitcoin into their economy. All went well until a tragedy, that is. A criminal organization believed to be located in Russia exploited hardware fault, and the government issued cell phones. It's believed that the entire continent of Africa lost an estimated 6% of its wealth in 40 hours. What followed was a period of chaos and civil war until Saudi Arabia and North Korean governments, two of the world's major powers, due to their authoritarian political systems' unique ability to adapt the Bitcoin challenge, divided most African land between themselves and praised as heroes by the local African population for it. You might wonder what our plan is. It's clear that the current situation can't be sustained without ending in a nuclear holocaust. He said, I am part of an underground network to seek to launch a coordinated attack against the very infrastructure of the internet itself. Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, you like this post a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
What do
you think about it?
I thought the Bitcoin Reserve part was sort of interesting until everything else he said about the Bitcoin Reserve was wrong. So Now I'm back to just thinking it's a
Dumb.
nice piece of fiction. That's a nice piece of
So do
fiction.
you
And some
think
of the, and I think it's actually, it takes a,
2013 though? You
it,
got the year right.
it takes quite a bit to be able to forecast a lot of things like this. I mean, 80% of it is wrong in detail, but I think conceptually a lot of it is pretty strong. So, but I also don't know what Bitcoin was like at the time. Maybe there were a lot of people making calls
Oh
like
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and he kind of fictionalized it. But in general, it's
Okay, so this
pretty
was the
awesome.
other one though. The four institutions with the largest accessible Bitcoin balance are believed to be as following: some mining company with 50,000 Bitcoin, the
No.
IMF's currency stabilization fund. So this could probably be Tether right here. You could call that Tether.
Um, I don't. Maybe I don't see
I mean,
what.
you could swap that for Tether. The ASIC miner, I don't know about this though.
I don't think any of them have that much Bitcoin.
You know what I'm saying though. Like you could, but the government of Saudi Arabia, that might be somebody
I don't think
else.
they have gotten that far yet.
Anyways, but yeah, I think you're right. 80%, 85, 89 even probably. I think there's a lot here that he got wrong, but I just thought it was interesting that because I hit random last night on Stacker.News. Do people know there's a random button?
Well, it's right at the top, so they
And this
don't
came
know.
up.
They can look at it.